Well, today I'm gonna have a fun adventure. Up there is Concho Overlook, way up on the mountain. I'm down here in Thurmond, West Virginia. I think it takes over an hour to hike there. Signals there both ways. Apparently there won't be any trains through for quite a while. Probably till 3, 4 o'clock, and it's not even 12 o'clock yet, so might as well head up there. Last time I done that, the video didn't get that many views. But I'm gonna go ahead and start my adventure and head up the Concho. I start my hike by hiking across the Thurmond Bridge here in Thurmond, West Virginia. And the day I filmed this video was February 24th, when I filmed the video and done my hike. The new river's still way up. I'd like to point that out. Interesting how scary how the river is even a week after the rain. Well, a little over a week. Yeah, right out a week after it rains. It was raining Saturday and Sunday like the week before. Although this past weekend was pretty nice, aside from me having a ton of snow on the ground. After that, I walk across the Thurmond tracks, and then along the Southside Junction Trail, which takes it into this abandoned rail yard. Because the farther up you get, there's like more tracks. I think it's 4. There might even be a stretch where there's 5 pairs of tracks at some point. But the whole time, for the first mile, mile and a half, you're along the banks of the New River, which is part of the New River Gorge. Here's a fun fact about the New River Gorge. Not only is it the newest national park, our country's newest national park, but it also has the newest name because it's called the New River Gorge. It will always have the newest name. Yes, I had to throw that in there. You see there's a decent amount of snow here in this abandoned rail yard, and this stretch is like 4 pairs of tracks. Makes for a very interesting hike through here. Of course, when I came back down the mountain, some of the snow is still here, but most of it melted during that little bit of time I was up there, because it wasn't high 50s, almost 60 degrees. Of course, nearly all the ice I passed on the side of the mountain was still there. Some of it had broken up and fallen off by this point. But this particular trail is a fun trail because it goes all the way to Kennard, so it's over 8 miles. And that's Arbuckle Creek, by the way. And here's where I come to the deep rail cut. And had ice fall down the mountain next to me. I'm lucky it didn't land on me. I'd like to point that out. Used to be a lot of mines here at one time. Long time ago. I think this is the only deep rail cut I could think of on this trail. There's a decent amount of spots where you got huge rock cliffs beside you that's like really tall. Because a lot of spots where there's rock cliffs on one side and the river on the other side. Which you'll see in some of my earlier videos if you follow me on YouTube. Because I've hiked this trail and filmed this trail a few different times over the years. Well, I've hiked it a lot more times than I filmed it, I can say that. Okay, time to go here quickly. And that's when the ice came crossing down next to me and scared me. I took off running. There's a nice spot in the riverbank. Yes, the river was up through there. It was bad during the recent flood. I'd like to point that out. And there's the road that dead ends right there at the bottom of the mountain. Well, there's been another landslide. And all our ice is literally falling off the mountain. Yeah. How do we think my hiking events are here? Take a different route to the trail. Southside Junction Trail. That's the path I need to take to get up the Concho Overlook. Here's why to take a detour on the Southside Junction Trail and take a second trail up there. So I end up spending a little bit more time on this trail that I planned, because the other trail takes you up through the Ace Adventures campground, and after that you connect to the other trails that you want to hike. Oh well, I still made it. Just had to take the detour. Beautiful view of the New River. I'm not sure what they're digging that ditch line along the riverbank for, but I'm sure it has a purpose. Beautiful stretch through here along the riverbank. Now this stretch of trail I did not plan on filming this day, but due to the landslide I ended up hiking a little bit more down the Southside Junction Trail than I planned, where I then hiked up the hillside here through the Ace Adventures camp, which is very interesting because I had not planned to take the detour. But here's that big high adventure camp that Ace Adventures is building, which is really nice, by the way. Basically, if you're rafting down the river, this is one of the spots where they take you out of the water. You spend the night, then you eat dinner, then you get up the next day and take off again. I'm not sure how many miles you go down the river. I had to look into that. These rafting trips are fun. I just don't know how many miles that you go that they take you. What's the max amount of miles? I think I went one time on a short distance. I don't think it's I think it's less than 10 miles. That's what I done. Yes, you can get in the river at Sandstone and go all the way down the Fayette Station and get off underneath the New River Gorge Bridge. I know that's the farthest you can go is at Sandstone, below Sandstone Falls. It's under the New River Gorge Bridge. The problem with that is I don't know how many miles that is altogether. I know people come from all over the country, and even different countries, to come here to southern West Virginia to see New River Gorge and do these rafting trips, which I think is really cool that they do that. It's amazing too. But all these spots are like tent camping spots, except your tents, and enjoy the view over at the river. Although you don't have that good of a view of the river in the summertime, because when the trees get leafed, you can't really see the river that well. But you still got a great view of the nature and the woods and wilderness anyways. Two big stones marking the start of the Ravens Ravine Trail. These rocks are there. Which is a very steep trail, by the way. Here's the fun part. This is where I go down and hike to the beautiful waterfall. Which is very nice waterfall, by the way. It ain't well, I would say it ain't easy getting to because you have to hike a long ways to get here. Well, actually, I think it's 2.5. I know about a full 2 miles, 2.5 at the most, if that, two-way trail down the waterfall. It's at least a mile from down the trail to where the Ace Adventures campground gets, and then you begins. Then you hike to the campground up this trail. It's probably another half a mile or so. So I'm just under 2 miles here. I'd like to point that out. It's a beautiful area, I know that. And yes, I will be doing more videos like this because apparently there's a lot of trails that I've not explored that's somewhat new. Most of them has been built within the past 2 or 3 years. I think 2022, 2023 is when most of these trails are put in. Of course, the Southside Junction Rail Trail, it's been there for a long time. Maybe the Oakskin Trail. The rest of the trails are new trails. They ain't been there long at all. Well, I say new trails, but the Park Service trails have been there a lot longer than that. They've been there a long time. And yes, I missed the train go by. Was this R.J. Corman because I'm down there by the tracks waiting. I walked to my house to do the editing for the video, and I hear the train blaring down on the horn at the railroad crossing behind my house. Oh well. But here's that beautiful waterfall. Enjoy the waterfall. Lots of ice around the waterfall too. Hold on. I'm gonna do this. I need my trekking poles. Yep, that's cold water. This is the part where I used my trekking poles to get myself across the rock, and I stuck my foot in the water by accident. It was cold, by the way. It'll take all that a few days to melt, even though it's in the high 50s. And it'll be that way all week. Although I think it'll still be getting cold at night, but at least it'll be warm during the day. Here's a nice stretch of trail going up towards Concho. This stretch of trail kind of reminds me of the Appalachian Trail, just because it's a lot like the Appalachian Trail, the way the train of the trail is set up. I also like to point out something interesting. This particular trail had a black diamond for expert when it comes to trail hiking. The trail systems that Ace Adventures putting in, they kind of mark them like you would for trails at ski resorts. You have the green circle for beginners, the blue square for a more moderate way you have a little bit of experience, and then the black diamond for experts. If you ever go ski and you don't have any experience, you don't want to go down the black diamond trails because they're the steepest trails on the mountain at the ski resort. course, in this case, these are the hardest trails to climb that Ace Adventures has. Which is interesting because the ones that's marked Black Diamond is just like the Appalachian Trail, because a lot of the Appalachian Trail is rough, it ain't easy. You go across a lot of big rocks, you have a lot of steep climbs, and you got areas where if you don't pay attention, it's a long ways down the side of the mountain. So it's interesting. Of course, this area also reminded me of the area near Petersburg, Virginia, which takes up into Monroe County, up the mountain there, because when you have to descend into Petersburg, you come down to the banks of the New River, which I think is very interesting because I'm in the New River Gorge, and that one stretch of trail goes to Monroe County. If you're heading south, you come into the New River Gorge. Well, you come down to the banks of the New River and Narrows, which is not part of the New River Gorge. Because I live next to New River Gorge, well, 10-15 minute drive from my house, I'm in the New River Gorge. It's interesting. Let's start pointing this out. And yes, big rocks like this is quite common on the Appalachian Trail. Like to point that out too. This is definitely a fun stretch of trail here. Good place to practice before I do my next section hike, the Appalachian Trail. Come through here and get my practice in for the trail, which is nice. Something else I'll point out in this video clip is, if you ever do like Appalachian Trail, technically you have all three types of trail there. Because if you're walking across a farmer's field, a lot of times that could be considered green circle for beginners, because when the stretch trail goes across farmer's fields, it is usually not that steep. Of course you got a little bit of road walking. And then the blue square, which is for, I think they call it intermediate on the sign, something like that, where I have a little bit more experience. Which ain't too bad, because it gets the rest of the trail where you're hiking up and down small hills. But most of the trail, I say at least 80 to 90% of the trail, you're climbing up the mountain, going down the mountain. Of course, then you get those stretches on the ridge lines, but more often than not, you're climbing up the mountain to a ridge line, then you walk across big, huge rocks on the ridge line, then you go down the mountain to go back up the mountain. So Appalachian Trail is not easy, I'd like to point that out. I just think it's so cool that these trails here near Thurmond that Ace Adventures built is so much like the Appalachian Trail in many ways. And they're fun to hike, so hiking with Thurmond and concho is a very challenging hike if one's adventurous enough to do it. That's the road. That road that I pointed out here a second ago, you could actually access the road through Minden. I think that road connects to Minden, and then you can go into Oak Hill, and it takes you to the riverbank. It's a private road that Ace Adventures owns, but it's a nice road. I've never been down it before, but I've walked it a time or two. Part of it anyways, not all of it. Basically, if you're past the concho overlook and keep going, you actually can come down to the riverbank next to Thurmond. Although the road crosses the rail trail and dead ends on the riverbank, so therefore you wouldn't make it to Thurmond unless you hiked a couple miles from there. But still cool. But here's where I come out onto the road. Just past this tree and up the hill, I'm on the road. Not so what the two peak women's mean. Yeah. Listen to the creek in the background. Oak skin trail. Yep. Here's the easy part. After you get off the road there, you got this, was used to be a road at one time too. I guess it's an old mining road. So this is the easy hiking, because this stretch, the trail's not that steep and it's a gradual climb until you get like below the Thurmond overlook, and below the Thurmond overlook you got a very steep climb up the last 100 feet or so. Well, I wouldn't say quite 100 feet or so to the top, but still close to it, because that last little bit is very steep. What's interesting is I came across a few mines here, because a little bit farther up from here is a different trail I took that takes you to Concho. So there's actually two different trails you could take. The shortcut is just as steep as and rough as the Ravenswood Vine Trail, but you get to Concho a lot faster. You take this gradual route, you come across some beautiful overlooks. I'd like to point that out. Sometimes taking shortcuts and stuff on trails, you'll miss beautiful views. Even though this stretch past this one cutoff where two trails meet takes a little bit longer, you do hit 3 different overlooks along the way. So I thought that'd be an interesting thing to point out. Because one never knows. What's amazing though is even this far away you can hear the river, because there's no leaves on the trees and the river's still like at least 10 feet above normal, at least. So I thought that was interesting. And the fact there's still a few patches of snow here. I can see the well line from here. Last time I was up here, it's summertime, and you couldn't see that far through the trees. But you got a great view of the New River Gorge from right here. It's an amazing view. Should be getting close, well, somewhat close to the overlook. But I still got a bit of a hike ahead of me. Here's this trail split. That's the more difficult way to the overlook, which I've done before. A lot steeper of a climb. This way is supposed to be an easier climb. old mine entrance. Wasn't expecting to find that. A caved in mine entrance. Yeah, these rocks are probably not the best of shape. And that's definitely rotted wood. Yeah. If that breaks, no, it ain't even holding them, never mind, even holding the mountain up. Most of it's not even touching. Well, this is a little odd, the way that tree fell. I can see the root ball at the bottom, and the tree is literally upside down on the trail. Which means it was in the ground along the rock up there somewhere. Very interesting, huh? Well, there's the top. So this is going to loop around and go up there, and I still have a little bit of a hike. So that rock I passed it back there a little ways back is the Concho Overlook rock. Wow. Probably the best time to hike through here for the views, because during the spring and summer months, you got the green jungle where everything's fully leafed and green. You can't see that far. One reason I try and get a few section hikes in there for lots of trail before everything grows up and gets green and leafy. Like I said, I gotta sit down if I want to take a break. What made that noise? Thought somebody else was there. Wow. It's the actual trail. Do I want to attempt that trail? Well, yes, I do. Let's see what's down there. But first I'm going to go on up the Concho because I'm so close to it. And maybe I'll just go ahead and go down there. Because I don't think it goes very far. I think it just goes to an overlook, and never mind, it probably just goes to an overlook. Which I will not film by the stint down that trail because it looks like it'll be too steep to film. Well, that was a scary climb down. Now I gotta go back up that. Oh well. It's fun though. R.J. Corman breaking a train off the Bratz line onto the main. And I'm all the way here near the top of the mountain. Hey. This happening rock keep falling over there. Get ready to get back to hiking here in a minute. I don't have that far to go to get to the top, but I want to get up there, get the view from the top, and then explore that trail there. There's so many trails to here to explore. I guess the one that went up late last night. I started my journey all the way down there next to the red house that Side of Missy owned. And I walked all the way up across the bridge, a couple miles up the Southside Junction Trail to connect to the trail system Ace Adventures come to end up here at Concho. Took over 2 hours. Well, mainly I stopped a few times and rested. Probably take, if I hadn't stopped and rested 2 different times and spent like a 15-20 minutes at that waterfall, I probably would have took a lot less than 2 hours. Okay, they're not running engines around the train. There goes all the Corman truck.